Most people grow up believing one simple rule. If you work hard, you will be rewarded. This rule feels fair. It feels moral. It feels logical. It explains success in a way that is easy to accept. Those who succeed must have worked harder. Those who struggle must not have tried enough. This belief keeps society emotionally stable. But it hides a deeper truth. Hard work alone does not create wealth. In many cases, it prevents it. Not because effort is useless, but because effort, by itself, is easy to control. Hard work is predictable. Predictable behavior is manageable. Manageable behavior is inexpensive for the system. This is why hard work is encouraged everywhere. Schools reward effort and obedience. Jobs reward consistency and reliability. Culture praises hustle and discipline. But none of these guarantee upward movement. They guarantee participation. Participation keeps systems running. Upward movement requires something different. It requires leverage. Leverage is what hard work lacks. When someone works harder inside a fixed structure, they increase output without changing position. They produce more value, but they do not own more of the outcome. Ownership is what changes trajectories. Effort without ownership stays trapped. This is the core misunderstanding. Most people confuse effort with progress. They feel busy. They feel exhausted. They feel productive. But their position remains unchanged. They trade time for money at a fixed rate. No matter how hard they work, the exchange ratio stays the same. This is why income plateaus feel inevitable. The system rewards additional effort with diminishing returns. The harder you push, the less each extra unit of effort matters. This is not accidental. It is structural. Time-based compensation has a ceiling. Once that ceiling is reached, hard work only maintains status. It does not improve it. This creates frustration. People feel betrayed by effort. They followed the rules. They sacrificed. They stayed disciplined. And yet, they feel stuck. This frustration is often internalized as failure. But the failure is not personal. It is mechanical. Hard work is abundant. Leverage is scarce. Systems reward what is scarce, not what is common. Millions of people are willing to work hard. Very few control distribution, ownership, or scale. Hard work feeds systems. Leverage bends them. Debt plays a major role here. Debt locks hard work into fixed outcomes. When someone carries debt, their effort is pre-committed. Future labor is already spent. This removes flexibility. It forces consistency. Consistency benefits institutions, but it limits individuals. Debt transforms workers into predictable units. Predictable units are easy to plan around. They show up, they comply. They cannot afford volatility. Hard work becomes survival, not advancement. This is why many hardworking people remain poor. They are working inside constraints they do not control. Their effort flows upward. Their risk flows downward. The system captures upside. The worker absorbs downside. Hard work makes this arrangement sustainable. Without effort, the system stalls. With effort, it stabilizes. This stability is mistaken for fairness. But stability and fairness are not the same thing. Hard work also trains compliance. When people are rewarded for effort, they learn to follow instructions precisely. They become excellent executors. But execution without strategy does not create leverage. It creates dependency. Dependent workers are valuable. Independent actors are unpredictable. Unpredictability threatens forecasting. Forecasting is how power operates quietly. Hard work reduces uncertainty. Reduced uncertainty increases control. This is why the system praises hustle. Hustle keeps people busy. Busy people do not question structure. They focus on tasks, not outcomes. They optimize within rules instead of questioning who wrote them. Hard work narrows vision. Exhaustion reduces curiosity. Fatigue discourages experimentation. Over time, people stop imagining alternatives. They focus on optimization, not transformation. This is why hard work alone rarely leads to wealth. Wealth requires asymmetry. Asymmetry means outcomes that grow faster than effort. Hard work grows linearly. Wealth grows exponentially. Linear input cannot produce exponential output without leverage. Leverage can come from ownership, from systems, from scale, from technology, from capital. Hard work is often required to build leverage, but leverage must come first conceptually. Otherwise, effort is misdirected. Many people reverse this order. They work hard first, hoping leverage appears later. It rarely does. The system has no incentive to convert obedient workers into owners. Owners reduce predictability. Owners capture upside. Owners resist control. So ownership is restricted, discouraged, or framed as risky. Hard work, by contrast, is framed as noble. Nobility keeps people compliant. Compliance keeps systems efficient. Efficiency keeps power concentrated. This dynamic explains why financial advice feels repetitive. Save more, work harder, be disciplined, avoid risk. These rules optimize for stability, not wealth. They protect the system, not the individual. This does not mean hard work is bad. It means hard work is neutral. Its value depends entirely on where it is applied. Effort applied to owned systems compounds. Effort applied to rented systems expires. Most people rent their economic position. They do not own the engine. They operate it for someone else. Hard work improves engine performance. Ownership determines destination. This is why some people work less and earn more, not because they are superior, but because their effort is multiplied by structure. Structure determines outcomes more than effort. Hard work without structure is friction. Hard work with structure is force. The system encourages the first and limits access to the second. This is why social mobility is rare, not impossible, but resisted. Too much mobility introduces uncertainty. Uncertainty disrupts planning. Planning underpins modern economies. Hard work stabilizes planning. Leverage destabilizes it. So leverage is treated with caution, often disguised as irresponsibility. People pursuing leverage are told to be realistic, to be patient, to be safe. These messages protect predictability. They do not protect potential. Over time, people internalize this messaging. They stop seeking leverage. They double down on effort. They accept diminishing returns. They normalize stagnation. Hard work becomes identity. Identity becomes a trap. Leaving the trap feels like betrayal of values that were praised for years. This emotional barrier is as powerful as any financial one. It keeps people in place long after the math stops working. Understanding this changes perspective. It explains why discipline alone fails, why effort feels heavy, why progress slows. The system is not punishing hard work. It is absorbing it. Absorbing effort without transferring power. Power transfer is what creates wealth. Wealth is not income. It is control over outcomes, control over time, control over risk, control over upside. Hard work increases output. It does not increase control. That is why it keeps people poor when used alone. Once this becomes clear, the narrative shifts. The question is no longer how to work harder. It becomes where effort should be placed. Which structures multiply effort? Which systems return ownership? Which risks are asymmetric? This does not make the path easy. It makes it honest. Hard work is still required, but it is no longer worshipped blindly. It becomes a tool, not an identity. And tools are meant to be applied strategically, not endlessly.